Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I almost forgot what day it was there. That shows how my mind works. Where we are going to be taking a look at a puzzle called Bicycles, and it's by Sir Schmoopy. And this one comes with a warning. Our testers looked at this and said that we shouldn't do it on the channel. Not because it's not a good puzzle, apparently it's a very, very clever puzzle, but because the rules are quite difficult to get your head around. So I left it to Mark to make the decision. Mark solved it and said that this is actually a very, very beautiful puzzle, and it's worth breaking our rule that we have about complicated rules to see if I can solve this one. So I'm very happy to give it a go. The rules are quite long, and I have read through them once, and I didn't understand them at all. So anyway, we'll go through them slowly together in a moment. Before I start, though, I want to say a very, very happy birthday to Yasmin Asali. Yasmin is, she's studying for a PhD in astrophysics from Yale, no less. So an incredibly intelligent lady. And your friends Doug and Jika got in touch with me and said that you've been following the channel for a while and you really enjoy trying all the puzzles. So Yasmin, I'm delighted to hear that, and I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that you enjoy watching the channel, and I wanted to wish you a very, very happy birthday. So I hope you have a super day today. And what a doctorate you're doing as well. Good grief. Now, other than that, a couple of things to mention about Patreon. Firstly, keep trying. If you haven't finished our monthly reward, do have a go at it. Do remember you have to do it online this month, and that is because something rather cute happens when you finish the first puzzle. You'll see it. You'll know it when you see it. Keep your eyes out, finish the first puzzle, see something, you'll know what's going on then. But yeah, that will not work if you try and solve it on paper. And very well done to the well over 1,000 of you who've managed to solve it so far. You've still got 12 days left to finish it. I am planning actually to stream this week. I'm very tempted. On Thursday there is a new game out called The Last Cube, which I think looks quite cute, and I was suggesting to Mark we might do it. I think Mark's also interested, so I'll confirm that on Twitter hopefully later today. And the other thing to mention about Patreon is we've added a new reward tier. This is in response to some feedback we've had suggesting people might like us to write crossword clues for them. So there is now a tier there. I think it's $10, where we will write a crossword clue of your name or your pseudonym or a word that you just want, or one of your friends' names, whatever you want. We'll write a crossword clue for you, and we hope it's popular. We'll certainly enjoy doing it and having a bit of fun with it. So check that out if that might be interesting. Now, I can delay it no longer. Let us get on with Bicycles by Sir Schmoopy. Here are these rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in a cage sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the cage. There is only one cage, so those two cells add up to 15. Along a thermometer, digits increase from the bulb end. So we've got normal thermometers, so that means as we work our way up this thermometer, we must increase the digits. In fact, let's look at this one, because that one's incredibly forced. I can see immediately. If that was a 4, this square here has to be higher than 4. Could be a 6. This has to be higher than 6. Could be an 8. That then would have to be a 9. And 4, 6, 8, 9 would be a legitimate way of filling this thermometer. The clue outside the grid gives the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal. So those 6 digits there sum up to 23. Now, hang on. Right, now this is where it gets very confusing, to me at least. Within a row, let a cycle be the path taken starting from digit A in column X, and then looking at digit B in column A, and then digit C in column B, etc., until the cycle returns to digit A again. Okay. The order of a cycle is the number of unique digits contained in the cycle. E.g., now I haven't gone through this example, I'm hoping this makes sense to me. E.g., a 5 in row 9, column 1, there. A 9 in row 9, column 5, there. And a 1 in row 9, column 9, there, would force a cycle of order 3. Right, let's go through the rules again. So it says, right, so this is digit A in column X. So this is in column 1. Digit A is this one. That looks, oh, I see. You look at the, yes, okay. So you look from here to the column number this is sort of indexing, isn't it? So this is indexing to column 5, which is that digit. That is indexing to column 9, which is that digit, which is indexing to column 1, which is that digit. And there are 3. So yes, if you keep following the order of it's sort of pointing to columns. This is pointing to the 5th column, that's pointing to the 9th column, that's pointing to the 1st column, and then you would repeat the cycle. So the cycle is cycling round. And it's got 3 digits in it. Let's try and make another one, actually. Let's just try and make a different one. So let's put 3 there, 8 here, 6 here, 2 here, 9 here. Now, if I've not made a boo-boo, which I probably have, in fact I have made a boo-boo, haven't I? So this 6 is pointing to the 6th column, which is pointing to the 2nd column. No, I have made a boo-boo. Sorry, I didn't mean to make a boo-boo, but I think I have. I'm going to change that 6 to there. So this 8 now points to that 6, which points to the 2, which points to the 9. Right, which I could make a 4. I'm not sure. I might well still mess this up. I've got no clue what I'm doing. Right, let's start with this side. So the 9 is pointing to the 4, which is pointing to the 3, which is pointing to the 8, which is pointing to the 6, which is pointing to the 2, which is pointing back to the 9 again. So I have managed to create a cycle there. That has 6 cells in it, 6 different digits. Now the other digits then in that row would be 1, 5 and 7. And I don't quite know what we'd do with those. The 1 would be in one of those two. Yeah, oh, no, it wouldn't. The 1 would actually be there. So this would be a 5 and a 7. And the 1 would point here. Yeah, okay, so if that was a 7, I'm sorry to labour this, but I'm just trying to get my head around it. This 1 and 7 are sort of indicating each other, so they would oscillate. And the 5 would sit on its own, just pointing at itself. This is a very egotistical digit. It's sort of going me, over and over again, isn't it? So it would cycle on itself and be order 1. Okay, now I'm starting to understand. I'm not surprised that people said this was complicated. Now, there is one more rule. In this puzzle, the order of the cycles also increases along thermometers starting from the bulb end. Oh dear. So that means as we work along this thermometer, or any thermometer, but this thermometer, not only do the digits increase in the normal thermometer way, but the order of the cycles increases. I have not got a clue what that means, but that is the rule. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Don't just turn off the video because it sounds complicated. It is good for our brains to try and be plastic and learn things. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I presume we start with that great big long thermometer, do we? Mark would be delighted. I'm not surprised Mark liked this puzzle because this thermometer is just begging to have massive pencil marks extended along it, isn't it? So, because you can't put 1 in the bulb, and this is a 7-cell thermo, I think this can't be greater than 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it can't. So this is 2, 3. Everything on the thermo has 2 options. This digit is totally unknowable, apart from it's not 1, because it just depends what digit doesn't appear on this thermo. This 15 cage has got to either be 6, 9 or 7, 8. Well, in fact, there's loads of tiny little thermos that are probably disambiguating thermos. And there's this thermo, which has an absolute plethora of options. Oh, and 23 here. Oh, that's useless. No, okay, sorry, I was wondering maybe if this was the start, but 6, you can see. The way to think about little killers very quickly is just to divide the total, the 23, by the number of cells, and if you do that, you can get a number that's very close to 4. 23 by 6 is very close to 4, which is a little bit low, but not low enough to be interesting. So we're probably going to have to learn about the orders of cycles now, aren't we? Which is fairly terrifying. So, what does this mean? We know the order of the cycles is going up as we go along here. So, this has a very high order of cyclitude. Now, I am going to tell you something about this number. I am actually going to tell you something about this number. This number is not a 9. It can't be a 9, can it? Because if that's a 9, then that's an order 9 cycle, which is going to dot around all around this row. And then it's going to do it again. But it's going to... Every digit in the row will be part of the cycle of size 9, which means that that bulb will be part of a cycle of size 9, and therefore that would have to be in an order 10 cycle, which would imply there were 10 numbers in row 1, which there are not, and that doesn't work. So that's... Oh, so I can't remember if I said that is a 9 or it's not a 9. That's definitely not a 9. That must be an 8. So that's an 8, which is... So that's saying that... Oh, good grief, I'm not sure what that's saying. It's saying it's looking at that cell. So this cell is in this one's cycle. So this has got to be in an order 8 cycle. Order 8 cycle. Oh yes, okay. So that an order 8 cycle would mean that there was one cycle... Well, not one cycle, one digit in this row. Let's just put it here. Let's imagine that was a 5. So that is in its correct column and keeps going me. Everything else points to everything else. So this is an order 8 cycle. So this is in an order 9 cycle. No, hang on. Hang on a minute. How can that be in an order 9 cycle? And the reason I'm asking that is that 1 is a me digit, and therefore can't be part of a 9 cycle. Oh, I've got this wrong. Oh dear. What was wrong with that logic though? Hang on. This 8 is pointing here. So this and this have to be part of the same cycle. So this has to be part of a bigger cycle than an 8, so that's got to be part of a 9, which doesn't work. Oh no, I don't understand. So maybe this could be 9 then. Hang on, let me just go back to that. Why did I think this couldn't be 9? No, this can't be 9 because that would be... This would be in the cycle with the 9. So this would have to be in order 10. I've not understood this at all, have I? I've not understood this at all. I'm so sorry. 14 minutes of absolute gibberish. The order of the cycles. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. At least I understand how I've made an error now. Oh, good grief. Oh, this is horrible. When I say horrible, I don't mean horrible as in a bad puzzle. I just mean it's horrible to think about. Right. I was assuming that high digits corresponded to their cycle numbers. That's not true necessarily. This is not... Yeah, this is a 7-cell thermometer. So it's not necessary that this could be a 7, this could be an order 7 digit. And if it's an order 7 cyclic digit, then all the logic I did was wrong, wasn't it? Because I said when this is a 9, it's part of a cycle of size 9, and therefore it would take this cell into account and force it to be in a cycle of size 9. But if this was only in a cycle of size 7, then it doesn't even need to include this digit. This could be in a cycle of size 1 or 2 even. It can't be in anything other than those two things, though, can it? Because if this is a cycle of size 7, it's going to dink around with 7 cells in its row, and the other 2 are sort of mutually exclusive and sit outside that. Let's in fact try and make one. So if that's a 9, let's make that a 2, and then that could be 3, 4, 5. How many do I need? 6, 1 or something like that. So then these would either be a 7 and an 8 like this, which would be in their correct columns. So these would both have order 1 cycles. This would be a me digit. So that takes all the pressure off this digit, because this digit now can be has to be in an order 2 or higher cycle because of... Oh no, but if it's an 8, by the rules of the thermometer, it has to be a 9. Okay. Ah, good grief. Right. So if that's 8 and that's 7, on the other hand, these point at each other and sort of go me, or you. And this square would... Oh, this would still be a 9, but it would only be a 9 because of the example I've chosen, where the 8 is already in the box. Yeah, so the point is we don't know anything about this. Well, we know it's an 8 or a 9 by thermo, but we don't know what its order is. Oh, no, I know it's not 9, don't I? I do know that the order of this cell is not 9 because that encompasses this cell. So this is order 8 or order 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, order 8 or order 7, but digit 8 or digit 9. Whoa. So how... I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put corner pencil marks in. Is that sensible? So that I was thinking I could list the orders of the potential cells on the thermo. So that would imply that's 6 or 7, 5 or 6, 4 or 3, 3 or 2, 2 or 3, 1 or 2. So the corner pencil marks tell me the possible order. The central pencil mark tell me the possible digit. Now, that cell... Yes, okay, that cell is not order 1, is it? Because that would imply this digit is a me digit. And it's not a me digit because it's not a 1. It's in column 1. So whatever this is, if it's a 2, it's pointing at this cell. So it must be a minimum. Yeah, so well, the point is it can't be a self-referencing digit. So this is not an order 1 digit, which pushes the whole thermo. So the order of the thermo, the order is now known. The cyclic order of the thermo is known, but the digits are not known, I don't think. But I might be wrong now because I'm sort of learning about... So now this is saying this is order 2. So wherever this points, it must point at a digit that points straight back at it. So yes, so there must be a 1 in one of those 2 cells. There we go. That is a small deduction. There's a 1 in one of these 3 cells by SUDOKU. It's not going to be in the tip of a SUDOKU because we can't make this a 0. So there we go. We've actually got a little bit of deduction. So this, if it's a 2, it will need to point to a 1 so that the 1 will point back at the 2, and there will be 2 digits in the cycle, so that that cycle will have order 2, which we know this cell has. Whoa. So this cell has order 8. I now see. I've got a digit, I think. How could that be an 8 if it is of order 8? And the answer is, it can't be. Because, this is so clever, by the way, Sir Schmoopy. I mean, I don't know how your mind works, Sir Schmoopy. I am a bit worried about it, but this is very clever, because if this is an 8 and this is an in the same, this digit then would be in the same cycle as this, because it's pointing at this one's column. So these two share a cycle which we know is of size 8, but that means this digit, which is higher on the thermo, must have a higher cyclic number. Therefore it must be a 9 cycle, which means that these two are in the same cycle, because every digit in this row must be in the cycle, the single cycle that can only exist in this row, but this digit is a me digit and sits in its own cycle, not in a size 9 cycle. So that does not work. So that tells us, I think, that this digit is in fact therefore a 9, which tells us that this digit and this digit are in the same cycle. There, I've said it. So so it's a 9, but it's not a 9 size cycle. No, it's an 8. It's a cycle with order 8, but it is a 9. It's a cycle with order 8. So we can't. Yeah, so again, this right, I got another digit. Right, this digit can't be in the blue cycle, because if it is in the blue cycle, we know that the blue cycle has order 8, so this would have order 9 and break on the 1 again. So this sits on its own as in a different cycle. So what we're going to have to do in each of these rows is we're going to have to divide up, I'm going to use colours, the rows into their different cycles, I think. Now, this is beautiful though for this one, because we know the blues are in an 8-cell cycle. The 8 of the digits in row 2 are going to be blue. We know this one can't be, so the rest of this row is all blue. This is a me digit, because it must be in its lone cycle. It's an 8, and that gives us another digit, which is a 9 in the top of the grid. And the 9, then, well, the 9 is almost irrelevant unless I'm missing a trick, because the 9 simply has to be in a cycle that is greater than size 1, and it is already, because it's pointing at this digit, which actually this digit can't point back at it, so this is at least a size 3 cycle, I think. Wow, okay, that's very clever. That's very clever stuff, but it's completely mad. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. Do I have to look at this one? That digit there. So, oh, this is maddeningly difficult to understand. What? So if this digit, so this digit here is going to be a 7 or an 8. So one of these two digits is in the cycle with this digit, which has a very high cyclic number. It's a 7-cell cycle. So in this row, there is a maximum of 2 digits that are not in the same cycle. No, in fact, there are exactly 2 digits that are not in the same cycle with this. but they might see each other in their own little private cycle, or they might be lone rangers in their own me cycles. But how do I know what the cycle number of this is then? I'm very sorry, I have a horrible feeling you are all shouting at me now, and I'm sort of a bit like Doc in Back to the Future. I can't quite hear you. Oh, botheration. I don't know quite what that means. What about these then? These are just disambiguating thermos, aren't they? I cannot believe these are important. I've only got low digits on the thermo here. I've got another silly little thermo here. Ones. Maybe I can do ones. Is there some reason? So one, is there a reason one can't be in blue? No, well, one will be in blue in this row, obviously. And wherever the 1 goes, it points at the 9. Because it's pointing at the first column, and then the 9's pointed to the 9th column. So there's no reason you can't have a 1 in there, I don't think. Is there a way of telling which of these is a 1? So if this is a 3, we know this is order 2, so it would have to be a 1 here, and they would point at each other and go no, 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 no. And there would be a 1 in one of those. Ah, that digit is pointing at that cell, isn't it? Oh, right, yeah, hang on. Hang on a minute. I think what we've got to do... Yeah, in order to create a cycle... Sorry, and this is totally obvious, but my brain is only catching up slowly. In order to create a cycle, every digit in the cycle must see another digit in its cycle. By which I mean that because if I'm trying to establish the cycle that involves this digit here, I know it must involve this digit here, because this digit definitely is looking at this digit by cycle logic. So those two digits are in the same cycle. But this cycle is not very big. It's only no, it's exactly 3. I was looking at the 4 thinking it could be the 4. No, the 4 is the digit it could be. The 3 is the cycle number. So that means there must be a 5 looking at this digit in this cycle, because we must somehow get to this 1 in order to get back to the 3 or the 4. In fact, it's a 4 because we can't put 5 in the 15 cage. So if this is a 3, it can't be in a cycle of size 3. Let me show you. We know this cell is a cycle of size 3. Well, let's try and put an actual 3 in here. That is telling us to include this digit in this cycle. So we do that. And now this could be a 6, say. So that would go to this square. Now this square could be a 5. That's fine. And that would create a cycle. But the cycle is of size 4. It has got 4 different digits in it. So what we must instead do, I think, is to say this has to be a 4, and then this can be a 5. So we now go 4 to 5 to 1, completing the cycle. Good grief. This is so clever. Right. Okay. Now I've done the well, I haven't done the bottom of the thermo, but I've done the top bit of the thermo. So these squares have to be, by thermo logic now, 5, 6, 7 and 8. But in each case, we've got to bear in mind, hang on, it's always 1 less, is it? Yeah, so if this is a 5, which it is, it's in a 4 size cycle, and that's going to be a 6, which is in a 5 size cycle, etc. So let's just put the digits in 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we know that this digit and this digit are in the same cycle. This digit, this digit, this digit. So we get a diagonal sequence of cyclic digits being pointed at by the digits in column 1. But we also know that each of these digits now is not a 1, for what that's worth. Because if for example this was a 1, then this 7 and 1 would be going ner at each other, and this would be a cycle of size 2. And we know that the cycle sizes as we go up here are exactly 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is marvellous, isn't it? Oh, for goodness sake, Simon. Right, okay. Now I've spotted something sensible. I think this was available before, I just didn't understand it, but I do think I can now say something sensible about this thermo. Because this digit is in a size 7 cycle. So how could this digit cycle include this digit here? Well, this would be a size 7 cycle, size 8 cycle, size 9 cycle, size 10 cycle. That's too big. So this digit is not in the cycle with this digit, so that's orange. Oh, yeah, I've got something else. Now I know the cycle size of this digit. It's 2. And the reason it's 2 is because it can't be 1. Because in this row, we've got a size 7 cycle, which is going to encompass 7 of the digits. So we've got 2 digits to play with as regards this one's cycle. So it could have been the ner, and is, or it could have been a self-referencing egotistical digit, me. But if it was a me, it's in column 9 and would have to be a 9, and it can't be a 9 by SUDOKU. So it's a ner, and I don't know what that means in terms of what its possible values are, but it's definitely in a ner. So it's a size 2 cycle, which means there must be a 9. So this digit is now a 4, 5, or a 6. And the reason it's 4, 5, or a 6 is look at where the 9 goes in this row. It's in one of those 3 cells. I'm now worried. Now I've got the 9 here, which is indicating the order of the thermo. Maybe I've got to go 9 like that. There's a 9 in one of these 3 squares by SUDOKU. That's definitely true. And this must be in a sort of new ner relationship. So if this was a 4, this would be a 9, and these two would be laughing at each other. Either that, or this is 5 and 9 here, or it's 6 and 9 there. So one of those things is true. So now this thermo's minimum value is no longer quite as low as it once was. So 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is getting better. So 5, 6, 7 means we've got 3 degrees of freedom. So we've got, or 2 degrees of freedom. It depends how you like to think about that. But basically, each of these cells on here now has 3 options. That can't be 7 at all. That can't be 6, which means so that can't be 7 anymore. So now, so if this is 8, that's 9. If that's, that can't be 6 anymore, because this can no longer be 7 because of this. So this is actually very restricted. And we know that this digit, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is at least a size, an order of 5 thingy thing. So what's that one? Ah, right. Right, okay, I'm now starting to see the light. I now think I know the orders of this thermo, because look at these two squares. I know that this one is in an order 4 from this thermo, but this one can't be in an order that's less than 5, because this is 2, 3, 4, 5. And there aren't more than 9 digits in this row. So this one, the blue order, is of order 4. This one is now the orange order and is order 5. And therefore this must be order 4, that must be order 3. So we actually know the orders of these. But what we don't know is whether the same... No, we do know. We do know. Yeah, because this is increasing in the same way. Oh, this is beautiful. Good grief. Right. So now I know each of these rows, I think, is bichromal. It's got 2 colours because the order numbers add up to 9 in each case. This is a 2, this is a 7. We know this is an order 6, that's an order 3. This is an order 6, no, not an order 5, that's an order 4, and this is an order 4, and that's an order 5. So these digits here, not quite sure how to do this, but each of these rows is exactly... It is only able to be coloured in 2 different colours. There are only 2 cycles in each of these rows. I keep looking at this 5 and wanting to delete the 5 from here, but I mustn't do that. So, what on earth does that mean? Right. I'm so slow at this. But... that cannot now be a 9, because if it was a 9, it would be a self-referencing me digit, and it wouldn't have order 5, which is what it needs to have. So that's an 8, that's a 7. Oh, bobbins. I thought that would do something further down. It doesn't. So this is an 8. Okay, this is an 8, which is pointing at this digit. So that is orange. This is a 7, which is pointing at this digit, which is... because that's in the 7th column. So these 2 digits have acquired the mantle of orangeness. 8 is now in one of those cells, which I have to pencil mark in the middle digit. 7 is now, I don't know where. 8 is in one of those cells. 9 is in one of these cells, look. So 9 is in one of those cells. I don't really like that being a 9, I have to say. How can that be a 9? Because that's pointing at orange while at the same time it's blue. That doesn't work, does it? Am I going crazy? If this is a 9, I'm saying that it's in the blue cycle, but it's also in the orange cycle. That's not possible for it to be in both cycles. Okay, sorry. That's not 9. This can be 9. Oh no. Ooh. No. Ah! No, it cannot be 9, actually. 9 is placed in box 6 by absolute mental stuff. This cannot be 9. For the reason that if it's 9, these are 2 ners. 7 is pointing at the 9, the 9 is pointing at the 7. They would oscillate between each other, which would imply this was order 2, but we know this square is order 4 because of this thermo. So that's not 9, and this is 9. And now that's orange as well, therefore, because it's definitely pointing at an orange. So this goes 8 to here, this is order 5. So it goes 8 to here, shuffles off somewhere else, and then shuffles here, which takes it back to the 8. Okay. What do we do with this newfound information? And this is one of the terrifying things about this puzzle, is I have not got a clue where I should look next. I'm so sorry if you're all looking at this saying, why isn't he just filling this in? I don't even understand where to look, to be honest. The order of these ones is 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it this one somehow? This is order 7. So that's pointing here. Oh, this... Oh, actually, that can't be 6 anymore. That means that can't be 9, doesn't it? Because this is an order 2 cycle. So this is... No. So it's only one of those two. Is there a way we can tell which of those is correct? So if that's 5, if that's not 5, that's the 5th. If that would be a 9. If that's a 9, that would be a 5. That would be a 6. And that would be pointing at this digit. This is an order 3. So, oh yeah, okay. So yes, so we need 9s. I need there to be a 9 that can point at this digit, and that 9's not in those. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not spotting what I meant to do with that. 5. You can. Oh, can I have a 5 in either of those two cells? Is that the idea? Right. Here is a small point. I think this might be wrong, so I'm going to do it slowly. But in this box by Sudoku, 5 is in this 2 by 2. Now, if 5 was in either of those two squares, surely in its row it would be a me digit and have order 1. But I think I said that each row has to have 2 colours, because we know that the orders across the grid are adding up to 9 each time. So you can't have me digits. So I think those two squares have to be 5, which means... Does that place 5 in that position? I think it might do, because I've got the same thing going. This is order 7, this is order 2, so I can't put 5 in a me square. This needs to be part of an order 8 cycle, so it can't be a me square. That cell, I think, is 5. Where it loses all the potency in the world, because it's in a row that has no order connotation. There's no thermos looking at this row. So there's no... Well, I suppose there's that one, but we already know this is greater than whatever that one was, which was a 1. So yeah, this row's cyclic order I don't think matters. But at least we got a digit. I'm very happy about that. Down the bottom of column, I've got a 2-3 pair at the bottom of column 1. Right. So I'm going to do that again then. Where does 2 go in column 2? That is a good question, because it can't be a me digit in these cells. So it can't exist in those cells. And it can't exist in these cells because it's just been joined by its friend down here. So it's in one of these two squares. So it's not in those 6 cells or this one. That's still a me square. So it goes there. And the same is true of 3 in this column. It can't be in these. It can't be in those because it would be a me digit and need a third colour. So that's a 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, 9. So I need 4, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's so nearly right. Right, let's pencil mark this. 4, 6, 7, 8. We know those are not 8. We know this one is not 7. We know... Do we know anything else? No, the cyclic nature. Oh, I've got the 23 clue. I've got an 8 on the 23 diagonal, so these add up to 15. So if that was an 8, these would add up to 7. It might be important somehow, I'm not sure. Okay. What do we do now? That is the next question that we need to grapple with. And the answer is, I've not got a clue. This felt very powerful though, didn't it? It feels like row 1 is where we need to look somehow. And I've got a 4, 5, 6 triple in column 9. So I need 1s, 2, so this is a 1, 2 or a 3. I can tell you something about this. It's not a 1, because if that was a 1, these two would be ing. So I can place 1 in column 9. Because it seems to have to be in those two squares by SUDOKU, right, so it goes there. So now these squares are from 2, 3 and 9. We got a 1 in the corner. No, it doesn't get a song. Right. So, does that mean, and it might not, but I'm asking the question, does that mean I can place 1 approximately in this box? I think it's right that I can, because 1 definitely cannot go in orange, because if it does, it's implying that orange and blue are in the same cycle. 1 can't go in blue here, because these two would then be ing and only in a cycle of size 2, and that needs to be in a cycle of size 6. So 1 is in one of those two squares, which means that in box number box number 3, not a very accurate description, it's in one of those two cells. Sorry, phone call from Mr. G there, asking me whether I'd done the puzzle. I said, no, I'm in the middle of doing the puzzle. And he sniggered. So, where were we? Hang on a sec. I was putting 1s in by the looks of things. 1s in columns 8 and 7. Yes, okay, that was because we realised that 1s had to be associated with blue digits, didn't they? So they couldn't go in orange squares. So, what does that mean? I haven't got a clue. I would have a clue if I knew that wasn't. If that was an orange digit, this would be the 1. So why is this orange? The answer to that is, I don't know. This is orange. So this is pointing at 4. Oh no, this is pointing. Yeah, this is an order 2 cycle, so it's pointing at one of these two squares, which has to be a 9. 7 in this row has to be in one of those cells by our old friend SUDOKU. Don't see much of that around here. And now, I really, really, really hope I don't have to look at these tiny thermos because they look ridiculous. Mark would already have pencil marked these in with their absolute multitude of options. You can't put one in the bulbs. There you go. That's about as good as I've got for those. So we've got... this one's not much better. I suppose you can't put 8 or 9 at the end of this one. So this one has about 7 different options, does it? It's got to be... It can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can't be 7 actually, because that would force this up to 8 or 9. So there you go. That is a properly good lift thermo there. And look, it did nothing for us. Do we know anything about the orders of these thermos? We know diddly squat, don't we? So this... Oh, actually though, I do know the orders of the... Ah, maybe that's it. Yes, sorry. It's very hard to unlearn what you've learned. But that is what, as Yoda said, I need to do, because when I see a 2-cell thermo, I just think useless. But here, because we know that the rows are all divided up into 2 colours, I know the orders of these. Oh, in fact, I know this one is order 4, isn't it? That one is order 4. It just is. So this has to be more than order 4. So this might get me another colour. That's order 5. That's order 4. That's it. Look, that's blue. That's the key. Right, this little thermo. Let me just double check this. I'm just going to think about this again. Somehow I've worked out this is a blue digit. Yes, and it is because it's looked at by this digit. So this is blue. Therefore, it's order 4 because this digit, we know that this thermo has orders that are 1 less than the digits. So this is order 4, which means this is order 5 or higher, which works very beautifully with blue, but is impossible with orange, because this is going 2, 3, 4. So this is blue, which means that what does that mean, though? It means that if it's blue, it can't be... What can't it be? It can't be 9. It can't be anything that points to an orange digit. So it also can't be 7, but we already knew that. Bobbins, I'm so bad at this. Now this one, can we do the same thing with this one? The answer is, we do know this row divides into a 6 cycle and a 3 cycle. So this digit... Oh no, we don't know anything about the digit. We know that its cyclitude is 3 or 6. So this is at least a 4 cycle. Ah, so it can't join its orange friend because that's in a 2 cycle. Ah, so that's blue. That's it. Done it. Well, I say done it. I don't really mean done it, but I do now know this is not 9 because were it to be 9, it would be in the orange cycle, and I know now it's blue. So if it's blue, it's in a 7 cycle, and this is not 9. So that's 9, which is definitely orange. It's pointing at an orange digit, which means this is definitely 4 because it's pointing... These are a ner pair. And the rest of this row is now, you've guessed it, blue. Now that gives me a 6 at the top of the grid. It gives me a 5 here. It gives me a... what does it give me along here? I'm not... Oh, no, it gives me that digit. 4, 6 is looking at that digit. That's a 7. So 6 and 7. We get a 4, 8 pair in this row. 7 must be in one of these 3 cells by SUDOKU. And these digits have to be 1s, 2s, 3s and 5s. And there's probably some reason that we can rule some... well, I can rule 1 out of that by Sudoku, it seems. So this is 2, 3 or 5. Now, how does this get restricted, if indeed it does? I haven't got a clue. This is really, really complicated. This... oh, that's now a 5. Oh, that's pointing at an orange digit then. So that's orange. And this is in... I can't remember what size order this is. This is a size 3. So this cannot be a 9. Because if this was a 9, this would be an order 2. Yes, so what we've got now is that this digit needs to point to the 9 in row 4. So the 9 can't go there. It can go there or there, I think. Can it go here? The answer is maybe. It can't go there. Right, so this digit has to be 2, 3 or 6. And the 9 in this row is there, there or there. And will point at the 5, which is already pointing here. So this is 2, 3 or 6, which doesn't really help me with the digit above it. Look, it would really help me if that was a 6, because that would force this to be a 7 by thermologic. So this is 2, 3 or 6. Oh, 5 there is looking at that cell, so that might get me another digit. That's a 5 now. So I've got... so how does that help? This is in a size 5 cycle, which starts off 6, then here. Do I know what the size of this cycle is? If that's 4, wasn't this in a size 5 cycle? I think it was. Because that was a size 4 cycle and it couldn't be orange. That's how I got its colour. So this is in a size 5 cycle. But how's that helping me? I don't know. This is so baffling. It really is. Can we... oh, got it. I've got it. I have actually got it. Where does 9 go in box 5? It can't go in a blue digit because it's always going to reference the orange digits. So 9 gets placed here. That's therefore orange, obviously. Oh, that's... this is ridiculous. So that's now a 6. Whoa. It's a 6. It is a 6. Which means that's a 7 by Sudoku logic. So 7 is over here, where it joins a friend. It's friend the 4. I've now got a 4-7 pair on the left, and I've got a 5-6 pair there. So there's no 5s in there. There's a 5 placed in here, which places the 1. So now 1 is in one of those 2 cells. This square's a 2 or a 3 because it's got to be the same as that cell, because you can't put 2 or 3 in any of those digits. So this is a 2. Oh, and you can see, why do I do things like that? But it's the row 3. You can see this has to be a 2 or a 3. So now, does this help me? That's the critical question. So I've now completed my cycle here, haven't I? This goes 5 to 6 to 9. Boom, 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 boom. So the rest of this row is all blue digits. Now, this one is a 5 opposite of 4 cycle. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that, do I? Okay, so what have we learned here? Have we learned anything very useful? The answer might be no. Have we learnt? Can we do anything by... No, 9 has to be in one of those squares, look. Does that help? The answer seems to be no. Why can't I understand the puzzle? That's a very good question. That's a very good question, and I don't know the answer. So these digits here are 1s, 2s, 1s, 2s, 3s, and 6s. Oh, so that's a 2 or a 3. I've only just noticed that, sorry. This digit here is a 2 or a 3. It sees 1 and 6 in its column. So that's a 1-6 pair. Is that helpful? Of course not. It would be too much to hope for. So this is complete. This cycle is complete. This cycle and this cycle most certainly aren't. This is a size 2, 3, 4, a size 5 cycle. I don't know. Maybe this column is meant to reveal things to me that I'm not understanding. So let's fit this. I especially think this thermometer is probably where we've got to focus on. So I've got to put 2, 3, 4, 8. Oh, and it's not 9 because there's a 9 already here. That's not 8 either. Oh, this can't be 7. What was 7? Do I know the nature of 7? Yes, 7 is pointing at an orange digit. So there's an orange 7 in one of these cells. So does that somehow tell us something? Oh, 6 by SUDOKU. That's a 6. Aha! Oh, 6 comes off the Mark Goodliff pencil mark thermo. These squares have now got to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 1 seems to have to be over this side. This orange string is now more complete than it was. So we go 8. So we go to... Oh, yeah, 6 is orange. So that's orange. So if that's 7, we go 8 to 6 to 7 to 9 to 8, and we get a size 4 order. What are we meant to get here? 2, 3, 4, 5. We're meant to get a size 5 order. So that can't be 7, because it would make a size 4 order. So the 7 must shift over there, which is now orange, because it's the column 5 digit is definitely orange. So that digit must be 4 in order to complete the cycle, because it must reference, we must have a self-reference to every column in a cycle. So now we've got a 4 here, which gives me a 4 and an 8 at the top of the grid. 4, 9 pair at the bottom of the grid by SUDOKU. This is not a 4. This is not a 4. 2, 3 pair in the column, and that's an 8. Good grief. 8 is pointing to a blue digit. So this is blue. Yeah, okay, and I've got 1 in either of those positions, which makes sense because there must always be a blue 1 in these rows, if I've understood the puzzle at all. So probably what I just said is total nonsense. We can deduce from that. Now, those 2 squares must be blue now, mustn't they? Because the orange cycle is complete. So they are blue. And what's more, they are 1s, 2s, and 3s, and that's not a 3, and that's not a 2. And this is in a size 4 cycle, so it goes 5 to there. Oh, I see, and these can oscillate around, and we don't learn anything new. Right, these squares are 1s, 2s, and 3s. There's definitely a 1 vertical here, so that square seems to have to be a 6. That square is a 1. So 6 is down here somewhere. And can I get that digit? I don't think so. So this goes 6 to 5 to 8 to here. Oh, that can't be... Oh, I see. That can't be 1. That's it. Well, I can't get this digit, but I can say it's not 1, because if it's 1, this cycle is only of length 4, and that's not enough. We know that's of length 5 cycle. Hang on, I'm just going to check that, because now I'm looking at this thinking that might be wrong. 6 goes to 5, goes to 8, goes to there. So if this was 1, it has closed the cycle. And we know that that's wrong. That's wrong. It doesn't work. So this is a 1. This is a 1. Therefore must be blue, because it's indexing into a blue digit. So this is not a 1. So we've now got 2, 3, 4 and 8 over here. Do I know what that digit is? Yeah, well, no. Yeah, well, no. No, it's not 4, because 4 is blue. I think the more I do of this, the more I'm thinking there are better ways of pencil marking it than I've found. I'm going to be fascinated to hear, if I can solve this, what the comments are like and how annoyed I've made you all, but we shall see. You're probably all just annoyed about the rule set, but I actually think it's reasonable once you start to get your head around it. Now what do we do? Now what do we do? That's the question. This cycle has to be of size 5, doesn't it? So I must... And I've got the 5 digits, so those are both orange. And this should all be self-referencing. So we haven't referenced the 4 in the row, so that's a 4. This is a 2 or a 3. I've got 2, 3 pair here. So this is 4 and 8. I don't believe it. And these squares are 2, 3 and 9. And that's not 2 and that's not 3. And it's still not... Is this really true? Ah, what about this diagonal again then? I've now got 16 on it. I need 7 more. Right, how do you make those 3 digits add up to 7? The only way is if there are 2 2s and 1 3. And you can't put 2 2s in that box. That will break the rules of Sudoku. So that's a 2, that's a 3. Which means that's a 3 and that's a 2. Which means that's a 3 and that's a 2 and that's a 3 and that's a 2. Aha. And that's a 9 now and that's a 2. So this is not 9. And this is not 6. Oh. And that's a 1. And that's a 3. How does that not resolve the stuff at the top of the grid? And that's a 1. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But this being a 1 means I now know this one, don't I? This is an order 2 situation. So it must do a no. So that's a 2, and that's a 3. Which means that's not 3, that's not 2, that's not 2, that's not 3, that's not 2. Oh, that's not 2 either. There's a 3, 9 pair here. So this is 4 or 5. Oh, it's not 4. That's just is 5 by Sudoku. Here we go now. So that's 7 by Sudoku. This digit must be known. That must be a 2, I want to say. So these digits are 4s, 6s and 8s. Which means that's not 4. Oh dear, it's still not done. These digits are 3s, 6s and 7s. So that's not 3. Oh, in fact that's not 7 either. So this is a 3, 7 pair. 6. How do we do this? Right, okay, that's not 6. I don't think there are enough interesting digits up at the top here to resolve this. Is it something to do with this thermo? I used this thermo to get the 5 leading up to the 7, didn't I? I haven't thought about the orders of this. So the order of this is we haven't got a clue what it is, because if that was a 5, it's going there, which is going either there or there. If that's a 7, that's pointing here. Ah, so maybe that can't be 8. Yeah, oh, that's beautiful. Good grief, yeah. This is 7. So if this was 8, then it would be a 2-order cycle. And a 2-order cycle means this is a 1-order cycle, which would mean it would have to be an 8 and be a me digit. But it's not, it's a 5. So this is not order 1. So this can't be a 7-8 pair. That's got to be a 4. It doesn't do anything. Oh no, maybe it does. 4 and 9, therefore. And so this is now going 7, 4, and then over there. This is going 5, 4, and over here. Oh, but 3 here, look, that's giving me an 8 there, and a 2 here, which is giving me an 8 here, and a 6 here. Ah, and this 8 is looking into my 15 box, so that's forcing that to be 6, 9, and I know the order. Good grief. 6, 5. Oh, come on. Please don't stop there. That's 9. That's 3. That's 3. That's 7. That's 7 by Sudoku. 7, 4. 4, 8. 8, 5. Done. No. Oh, I've got too many 4s. What have I just done there? Is that just a misprint? I think that has to be a... It's definitely not a 4. Does it have to be a 6? Oh, that doesn't look good. No, it doesn't have to be a 6. What's missing for this row? A 3. Yeah, that could be a 3. Yes. Thank goodness for that. Let me just go back there and see. Oh yeah, look, I just misclicked. Did I? Yeah, I just misclicked. That's absolutely fine. I'm not too embarrassed about that. Well, Sir Schmoopy, thank you very, very much for that. That was... Well, it was actually fascinating. It was also very, 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 very hard indeed for me. I am going to be fascinated to see the comments on this and to hear whether or not people are loving this or it has driven them stark raving mad. I look forward to the comments with interest. Keep them kind, everybody, please. That's when I enjoy them the most. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.